Hi students and family members, it's Mr. Panza. We've been working on division. We've been going over 2, 3, and now even 4-digit dividends divided by a 1-digit divisor. Today the lesson is to teach you how to use multiplication to check and see if a division answer is correct. Let's begin. In these examples we have 3-digit dividends by 1-digit divisors. So let's just go through the process as we've been taught so far. I can take my 7 in the dividend and divide it equally between 7 friends one time. My 1 goes up here in my quotient. Multiplication is the next step. 7 times 1 is 7, which is actually worth 700. Subtract after that. 4 minus 0 is 4. 2 minus 0 is 2. Next, I bring down my 7 and I repeat the process. Now in this case 7 cannot go into 2, so I have to fill the 10's place value with a 0. Multiply next. 7 times 0 is 0. 24 minus those zeros when I subtract leaves me once again with 24. This time when I bring down the 7, I can divide the 24 equally because I'm no longer, like I was previously, just looking at the 10's place value, but I can look at the 10's and 1's, and 7, 14, 21 will give me 3. When I multiply 7 times 3, I have 21. And when I subtract, I'm left with 3. Now you may be wondering, I already know how to do this. We've learned division so far. And you're right. But before you can learn to check division, you need to know how to divide. After you've divided, you are looking to try and see if this answer is correct. Here's how you do it. You take the divisor, and I will do this in red, and you multiply it by the quotient. So I'm going to take 7 and multiply it by 103. 103 times 7 is equal to 721. Now you may be saying that does not match my dividend of 724, which is correct, but don't forget we still have this remainder out here. When you have a remainder on the outside, you add that to the multiplication answer and you get 724. And as long as your answer, when you multiply the divisor by the quotient and add the remainder, is equal to the dividend, then your answer checks out. Now, when you actually try these here at school, I'm going to make you actually multiply the problem. Let me show you what that will look like on 1B. First, I cannot split 3 Skittles between 9 friends, but I can split 38. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, way too many, right? So let's go back and skip count by 9 till I get close to 38. 9, 18, 27, 36, stop there. When I have my 4 tallies, they go above the 38. Multiply 9 times 4, get 36, and subtract. 38 minus 36 is 2, and bring down your 2. Now I'm ready to divide. 9, 18, stop there. My 2 tally marks go into my quotient. 9 times 2 is 18. Subtract. In this case, more on the floor. Got to borrow 10 from the 10's, which makes this 12 minus 8, which is 4. So my answer should be 42 with a remainder of 4. So in this case, you know you need to multiply 42 times 9 and then add 4. Well, think back to multiplication. When I'm multiplying, I need to first expand the number 42, which is my quotient. 40 plus 2, and I set it up into a place value block, an area model, and I am multiplying that by 9. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 4 is 36, but don't forget it's 40, so it's actually 360. And when I add 360 plus 18, I end up with 378. Once again, this does not match my dividend. However, do not forget about your remainder, because 378 plus the remainder of 4 does equal the dividend of 382. which means my answer for 1b is correct and I used multiplication to check the problem. Let's try two more. Moving down to question 2, first divide. I'm going to go into 37, 9, 18, 27, 36. 4 tally marks goes above the 37. 9 times 4 is 36, which is actually equal to 360. And now I can take that away from 373 to see what I'm left with. Just 13. Bring down the 9. Divide again. I can only go and separate that 13 one time. 9 times 1 is 9. Subtract and get 4. This will be my remainder. 41, remainder 4. Once again, how do you check? Expand your quotient. 40 plus 1 times your divisor, 9. Whatever your answer is, 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 40 is 360. I add it together, so that's 369 plus my remainder of 4, which is 373. So once again, when I multiply my divisor by my quotient and add my remainder, my dividend should equal my multiplication answer. This one can go into the 9 first. 9 goes into 9 one time. I place my 1 in the 100s. 9 times 1 is 9, which allows me to subtract 900 from my original 940, leaving me with 40. Once again, I bring down my divisor. I divide that 40 equally. In this case, however, that 4 is going to go in the ones place value. Let me show you why. I cannot take these two without looking at the tens place value first. When you take a look at each individual place value and you think, can I divide this 4 by 9? You cannot. And you cannot leave the tens place value blank. So add a 0. 9 times 0 is 0. You're still going to be left with 40. So now you can divide the 40 by 9, which does give you your 4 in your quotient, but not 140, but 104. And when you subtract, because 9 times 4 is 36, you're left with a remainder of 4. How do you check? I take my divisor 9, and I multiply it by my quotient 104, which again, in this case, because it's a 3-digit quotient, I'm going to set up the area model for 100 plus 0 plus 4, multiplying that by 9. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 0 is 0. And 9 times 1 is 9, or 900, which is going to give me 936, which initially doesn't match my dividend, but when I add my remainder of 4, I get a total of 940. Once again, when I multiply my divisor by my quotient, then add my remainder, I am using multiplication to check to see if my division is correct. Today, what I'd like you to do is not only divide, but then be able to check each and every answer to see if your answers are correct. Thanks. Hope this video helps.